Welcome to Craft Catalog. Today we're exploring the powerful intersection where nature and innovation come together. This is where raw wood, shaped by time and environment, meets modern epoxy design, shaped by creativity, precision, and imagination. When these two elements are combined thoughtfully, the result is more than furniture or decor. It becomes functional art. Natural wood carries history. Every grain line tells a story of growth, weather, and time. Knots mark moments where branches once reached for light. Cracks and voids reveal how the tree adapted and survived. For centuries, woodworkers tried to hide these features, cutting around them or filling them to look uniform. Modern epoxy design changed that mindset completely. Instead of hiding imperfections, epoxy highlights them. Voids become rivers. Cracks become glowing veins. Natural edges become focal points rather than flaws. Epoxy doesn't replace the wood. It partners with it. The goal is balance, not domination. When natural wood meets epoxy, contrast is the magic ingredient. Organic shapes meet clean lines. Warm textures meet smooth glass-like surfaces. The unpredictability of nature meets the control of modern materials. That tension is what makes epoxy wood pieces so visually striking. One of the most iconic examples is the river table. Two slabs of live edge would face each other with epoxy flowing between them like water frozen in time. The wood provides warmth and grounding. The epoxy provides clarity and drama. Together they create something neither material could achieve alone. But epoxy wood design goes far beyond tables. Shelves, wall art, trays, lamps, countertops, clocks, and even small decorative objects benefit from this fusion. A simple piece of wood with a natural crack becomes extraordinary when epoxy fills the space with color or transparency. The key to successful epoxy wood design is restraint. More epoxy does not automatically mean better design. The most admired pieces often use epoxy sparingly, allowing the wood to remain the hero. Epoxy should support the story, not overpower it. Color choice plays a major role. Clear epoxy preserves the natural look and feels timeless. Deep blues and greens evoke water and nature. Dark pigments create bold contrast. Metallic powders add movement and depth. Each choice changes the emotional tone of the piece. Lighting interacts beautifully with epoxy. Transparent or translucent pores catch and reflect light in ways solid wood cannot. This makes epoxy wood pieces dynamic. They look different depending on time of day, angle, and environment. That living quality adds to their appeal. Modern epoxy design also allows woodworkers to stabilize material that would otherwise be unusable. Cracked slabs, damaged boards, and reclaimed would become valuable again. Epoxy reinforces weak areas while preserving character. This makes epoxy wood craft both creative and sustainable. Sustainability is one reason epoxy wood continues to grow in popularity. Makers can rescue wood from landfills, storms, old buildings, or discarded pallets and turn it into premium products. When done responsibly, epoxy extends the life of wood rather than replacing it. The process of combining wood and epoxy requires patience and planning. Wood must be dry and properly sealed. Forms must be tight and level. Pores must be controlled to avoid bubbles and overheating. Rushing leads to failure. Precision leads to beauty. Surface preparation is critical. Sanding epoxy to clarity requires progressive grits and careful technique. Finishing blends wood and epoxy into a seamless surface. When done well, the transition between materials feels intentional and smooth. Epoxy wood design has also changed how people perceive handmade work. These pieces feel modern, luxurious, and custom. They don't look rustic unless intended. This allows woodworkers to reach new audiences who appreciate contemporary design but still want natural materials. The appeal isn't just visual. Touch matters. The warmth of wood combined with the cool smoothness of epoxy creates a sensory contrast that invites interaction. People run their hands across epoxy wood surfaces because they want to feel the difference. From a design perspective, epoxy allows freedom. Shapes no longer need to be perfectly square. Natural curves become assets. Negative space becomes part of the design. The material adapts to the wood instead of forcing the wood to adapt to rigid designs. This flexibility encourages creativity. No two pieces are ever identical. Even using the same mold and pigment, the wood will behave differently every time. That uniqueness is impossible to mass produce, and that's why epoxy wood pieces feel special. For beginners, epoxy wood can feel intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Small projects like trays, coasters, shelves, or wall art allow you to learn without high risk. As confidence grows, larger projects become manageable. For experienced makers, epoxy opens new design language. It allows experimentation with transparency, color layering, embedded elements, and sculptural forms. It expands what woodworking can be. Epoxy wood design also requires ethical consideration. Using epoxy responsibly means avoiding excess waste, measuring accurately, and choosing quality materials. Thoughtful use respects both the wood and the craft. The market response to epoxy wood confirms its impact. People are drawn to pieces that feel both natural and futuristic. They fit modern interiors while still feeling warm and grounded. That balance is rare, and that's why epoxy wood stands out. Epoxy wood is not a trend that replaces traditional woodworking. It's an evolution. It builds on centuries of craft while embracing modern materials. When done poorly, it looks artificial. When done well, it feels timeless. The most successful epoxy wood designs always start with good wood. Grain selection, slab orientation, and natural features guide the design. Epoxy enhances what's already there. It doesn't create beauty from nothing. This philosophy keeps the craft honest. Wood remains the foundation. Epoxy becomes the accent. When you see a great epoxy wood piece, you don't just see resin and timber. You see intention. You see patience. You see respect for material. You see the maker's decisions frozen in time. That's what elevates epoxy wood from a technique to an art form. Where natural wood meets modern epoxy design, something unique happens. Nature and technology stop competing and start collaborating. The result is work that feels rooted yet forward-looking, organic yet refined. If you're a maker, this approach invites you to listen to the wood, not fight it. If you're a viewer or collector, it offers pieces that feel alive, personal, and enduring. At Craft Catalog, we celebrate woodworking that balances tradition and innovation. Epoxy wood design is one of the clearest examples of how modern craft can honor natural materials while pushing creative boundaries. As tools evolve and materials change, one principle remains constant. The best work comes from understanding, not overpowering, the material in your hands. Where natural wood meets modern epoxy design, craftsmanship finds its future without forgetting its past.